Hello, welcome. It's me, Dee. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you all are crafting and doing something creative. I wanted to show you a project that I have been working on. You can find this in my Etsy shop at Golden Nest Studio with the link down below provided. And I call this the Gothic Rose Sisters. It is a fabric cover and it has a 4-ring spine, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and it's full of loose threads. So if whoever decides to purchase it, if you don't want those threads, you can obviously snip them off, but I made that to look very shabby. And it has a tie closure right here, which we will open up and we will get started. The front has a Gothic woman, and we have it decorated with all types of fabric and paper and layers. And we open up the closure here, and here is the first page. So it has a rose theme, and it is all about sisterhood and friendship, crystals and the moon. I'll show you as we go through. So here's the first page. We have a lovely woman here in a frame, and we have a cluster here with a woman, and a lot of inking, a lot of distressing, a lot of spraying. We have some writing here, and then over here is a great place that you can journal. I've done a lot of stamping also, and I'll tell you, well, the image stamps are by Red Lead, and I'll link their website below. And then I also created a lot of titles, and those titles were hand stamped with my alphabet stamps, but I'll show you that as we go. So here, this crow, that is a Red Lead stamp, and nice journaling card, all distressed. We have a pocket here with one of the sisters in the front. She dances her heart, that's a Red Lead. And I just created a pocket and cut out a graphic image here of a rose, and I distressed this envelope, and in here we have all kind of field labels for different types of crystals. There's a bunch of them in here. And then we have some crystals here that I've cut out. And you could adhere them inside if you choose, somewhere in the journal or another use. That goes in there. And then there's a clip up here, and that just attaches. And then this is some music paper, and we have a cute girl here, a large journaling card that flips over, and we have a little it's like a little folder book I created, and I have some crumpled paper that I distressed and made it look old, and some vintage typing. Same thing here, this one opens. Spells and potions. And here we have another woman. It says, "Have you ever seen them? I don't care to answer that." And then when you open this, we have another woman here. That fits in there nicely. We have the roses, the crystal on a journaling card, and a skull with a crow. Magic spells, and this flips up, and you can journal here, and that flips up. We have a shabby bow here, and I can't remember in the beginning when I started, but it has a whole rose theme, which is why they're the Gothic Rose Sisters. Have a little clip up there, secret circle. Open this up. I created a little journal here. She sings her song, that's a Red Lead. And then I just stamped a bunch of roses in here. This is all hand tea dye paper, one signature. beauty. And the images that I've used, I will link down below for the graphics. And then over here I have a belly band, and in the belly band, that's just paper that's attached. A story told long ago, it's red lead. And we just have some lined paper. Some vintage stationery that I found that had roses on it. Then this is like a calendar down here with some gates, and I just attached a little tab there. And then these all go nicely under this belly band. And I've created some tabs over here that I put little roses on, and you'll see that throughout the journal. Nevermore. Mystical. So here, as I was saying, when I used my alphabet stamps, I stamped that out. Used the moon and some music paper. Here's another woman, sister. Some mushrooms. Oh, that's another thing I put in here, a lot of mushrooms. She follows her star. That's red lead. And in here we have, this is a little, this bow comes off and this flips up. We have a cute little woman here. And then I created a tiny journal, and it has all crystals on it. And it's all hand tea dyed, one signature. I stamped out crystals. Oops, it goes in that way. And that flips down. And the bow goes on here. I don't know if I can get that back on. I'm on camera, so we'll do that later for the sake of time. Some mushrooms here. Roses again. Some sisters. Voices whispering in the trees. That's a red lead. And a skull here. And then I stamped an R on this little tag for rose. Put a rose here. Vintage trim throughout everything. Little tab up here. Your truth. Nice, long placed journal. And of course, there's a lot of places that you can journal, but then I just like that. I like the fact that it had like lines on it. Did a little skull here and like a little cluster of some vintage ribbon. And a lot of spraying, like I said. Here's like an uptuck, darkness there, nothing more. That's a red lead. And then this is a graphic image I printed out, and then I stamped haunted moons on it, and the haunted moons is a red lead. Here's a crow, and then in here, as this flips over, we have two women and some more of the crystal field labels. Another tab that I created with the rose. Perhaps this is the house they live in. Another skull and another journaling card. Some more of the women. She's my best friend. That's a red lead. Haunted moons. And in here we have a long side tuck with a lovely woman in vintage trim. And we have a mushroom here that I attached. Talks about night. And this is crystals. I don't know if I did. I don't remember. I don't. Another journaling piece of paper that's got some lines on it. And I just put like these funky little quotes that I've used throughout the journal. There's just Mother Earth, Father Sky, more of those sisters in a group here. And then this whole thing comes out. So it says Mystic, another lovely woman. This flips open, a nice place here to journal. And then this is an elongated envelope. I made it into one of those, I used to call them those inner office envelopes where you use the string. I don't know if that's what they call them today, but back in the day, that's what we call them. So inside here, I just created a little pad sort of little journal here that I stamped some roses on it. Did some vintage trim here, another rose, and then that slips in here very nicely. And then I just put some eyelets on this, and like I said, I made this to do like a string closure. And then that slips in there, some vintage trim here, and then that goes into that side pocket. And then over here we have a vintage button, R for rose again, and then this little charm is from paper and it says love, some vintage trim, and in here we have a cute woman. This is a red lead stamp, and then I fussy cutted it out for time, and then some more journaling for the crystals. I put that in that pocket here. Another lovely woman. Crow, that's a red lead. And another tab. Kindness, Beauty, Truth. I stamped on this woman's head, basically. And that's a red lead stamp. Moon Dreams, and that's a crow and a skull, and that's a side pocket, so it's not open from the top, it opens from the side, and that goes in there. Another elongated piece of paper. I stamped a quill here, another tab, and then over here we have a glassine bag with a woman, and we have a journaling card, 2 of them, and another of that funky vintage typing. Vintage trim, some trim I sewed here. We have a woman here, nice tag, journaling card, and then we have a corset store with a skull on the back, and I just thought this was so wild. It's like perfect. And put that in that pocket, and then I spelled out moon dust down here. Everything is reinforced. Every reinforcement has been hand distressed. I have some mushrooms. This is where we're getting into the mushrooms. We have these 3 here. This is one of my favorite images because I love mushrooms, and it just gives like the different species and types of mushrooms, so I thought that was neat. And then that's another mushroom, and that gets put under this clip here. And we have another woman here, made a pocket, mushrooms, and then I fussy cut and put on here another mushroom. Another one here. And here's another woman. She loves things that are not quite perfect. That's a red lead. Also here, a story told long ago. Full moon. I used my stamps, my alphabet stamps on that. And that's a skull. And then in here, this is like a little pocket bag, and it says the elders, and it has a skull on the front, and then inside we have the elders. I don't understand you. Can't you answer that? I don't feel that I should. And then this woman is quiet and trouble-free, and then this woman says with unlimited powers. So they get tucked into this envelope, and then that envelope gets tucked into this pocket here, and then I made a pocket on the front, and that's where these go. Some velvet trim, vintage lace, some more inking, and this has a little clip. This comes out. Skull, 'tis the wind, and another woman. That went like that. And then we just slip that under this belly band, but I like clipping it in because it is a bit loose. So I'm going to put that in there. Flips over. And we have another woman here. And then this was just some scraps of paper that I had left over. So on the back, I just took my alphabet stamps and stamped some titles. And that says Sisterhood. That's a red lead, a story told long ago. And then Starry Nights, Moonlit Skies. That's a red lead. And then that way you could adhere them if you want into the journal, or just use them as it is and leave them in the pocket here that I created. It's up to you. Charm, I spelled out. And then another house. So that is my journal. I had a lot of fun working on it. And again, you can find this in my shop on Etsy at Golden Nest Studio. I hope that you all enjoyed the video. I always so appreciative of my subscribers. And if anyone is new, welcome. Please subscribe and please hit the like button. I would appreciate all of that. The feedback really helps on the algorithm on YouTube. And I hope that you enjoyed the video. So I will be seeing you guys soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.